all right, Tampa Bay. I know you guys aren't furious enough, so I think I've taken on the mantra today that by the time this hour is over with, you may not have anything that's not broken around you, because you're gonna be throwing stuff at the radio and throwing stuff and go get your blood pressure pills and go get your stroke medicine and all the other stuff, because you're gonna need it today. I'm just getting you ready. I'm preparing the audience.
I'm getting fearful here.
So we're gonna get this thing started, and again, if you don't want to be upset, because I just left a room full of black males, and they was really upset with me in that they really couldn't understand why I am a black Republican Trump supporter. Yeah, that's it.
That's the only way to go.
That's a mouthful. And
I know.
And people really,
because you're grown.
That's what I said.
You're a grown man.
Yeah.
And you can make whatever decisions you like.
Yeah, they saying something about, oh, well, you defend Trump. Well, I don't have to defend Trump. Trump is a grown-ass man.
He can defend himself.
I'm just telling you. I don't need to defend Trump. Matter of fact, until he do something, to me personally, I just let him do his thing, because I'm going to tell you, I have seen some folks who are doing well now who haven't ever done well before. They've been struggling their whole life. And they actually got jobs. They got working, paying jobs. Okay. Before I get started, let me go ahead and get the business out of the way. All right. Call-in number. For those who want to call in, and you may have to get in line today to call in, because we got some stuff going on. So go ahead and write it down if you don't have it written down somewhere. Okay, the call-in number for WTMP, to call in during the show, to talk on the show, 813-251-9867. 813-251-9867. After the show,
or right now,
to cuss Eddie Adams out.
Call now.
Or pray for him.
Because I said something you didn't like or you don't agree with. My cell phone number, 813-230-3312.
Call now.
813-230-3312.
Don't punk out. Call right now.
Website. Website. Y'all want to have so much fun doing this. Okay, website, porchtalkradio.com. That's the website, porchtalkradio.com. Eddie Adams' email, Eddie, EDDIE, at porchtalkradio.com. Okay. Let's get into it. Next Saturday, all the folks who want to see who the black folks are who are supporting Trump. The last thing I did before I left my office this morning was I created a Facebook event. Yes, I did.
How about yourself?
I did it by myself.
So proud of you.
It is called Here We Are Trump. Here We Are Trump. It don't have the photo that I want on it. So right now, where the big old picture is, to put a picture there, it is blank. As soon as I finish the show, I'm going to put a picture there. What are we talking about? All right. We're talking about black folks, and I have been asked by some of my Hispanic brothers and sisters, can they show up? Let me say this. The event is targeted at black folks. Hispanic folks look like white folks. See, we're not politically correct. So when you see some of the white folks in the photograph, or some of our Hispanic brothers and sisters in the photograph, you look like white folks. So I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there that the white folks, or the white-looking folks you see in the pictures, are probably going to be our Hispanic brothers and sisters who's showing up at the event to show us support for our cause.
So what you're talking about is that there will be a congregation, this is the term they always use, of black and brown people in this photograph.
Yes, black and brown, but again, the brown folks will look white. I'm just saying, because I'm sitting here looking at Gabriel.
Because you need so much light.
Well, compared to you guys,
I'm
I think you're tan.
I'm sitting here looking at Gabriel, and I know Gabriel going to be there because it's going to be right after the show next week. So again,
in other words, I'm being told I will be there.
When we take the photographs, you know, these are folks who have
I'll be the lead brown person. Is that
who
it?
have a common interest in the event. And we're doing this first so we can get it out the way. There is going to be an Eventbrite event page so we can figure out how many people comment.
Should be a pretty huge crowd.
Everybody keep telling me it's going to be 3 people.
Yeah,
but
they're lying.
it don't matter to me how many people show up. It is the point.
Mm-hmm.
And I am telling you now on the radio, if you show up for this event, we're going to take your picture. That's the point of the whole damn thing. Is for,
Man up.
for us to come
And
take
lady
some
up.
photos. Because people keep saying, oh, there's no one that's going to be there. It's just going to be you and 2 or 3 people. And I'm telling you now, you know, I know it's going to be more than that because I talked to somebody on the phone. I talked to one of my black pastors yesterday afternoon, and he did not know about it. But I told him I was creating an Eventbrite page and creating an event on Facebook. And he said, I'm glad you told me because now I can free up my Saturday 11:30 to show up at the event.
Beautiful.
All right, now, write this down. Address. Next Saturday, September the 29th. The address is 1719 South Dale Mabry Highway. And of course, this morning when I was telling folks, South Dale 1719. It's south of Kennedy.
Okay.
It's the Oriental restaurant right there on the right-hand side.
Okay. Oriental. Got it.
Yes.
So
Asian restaurant.
Intersection. Right at the corner.
Yeah, it's on the corner. It's on the corner.
Okay.
So somebody say, well, why didn't you do it in the black community? Because we ain't that anal.
Oh.
I'm just telling you.
You're thinking again.
Yeah, we ain't that anal. We didn't have to have this event in the black community. Matter of fact, Pastor Ricky, you know, I said, okay, where do you want to do this? He came up with the place. He sent me the address, and he sent me the restaurant name, and he said he told the folks that we'll be coming. So we need you to comment on our event on Facebook, or comment on my Facebook page, and I will put this on Porch Talk Radio, and I will put this info on the website. So somebody by the name of Tim who does that kind of stuff.
He's a genius at that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my
I heard.
goodness.
I don't know.
So they won't be we won't be that short of being able to find the information at the right particular places and on the pages. So it's going to be on my Facebook page. It's going to be on Porch Talk Radio.
I'll pass it on
Facebook, and it's going to be, you know, on the event. So the event, here we are, Trump has got his own event page, and again, it will go from 1 o'clock. We'll go from 11 o'clock, 11:30 till 1:30. So that's 2 hours. It's at a restaurant.
Okay.
It's at a race. As a matter of fact, it's an Asian buffet. So I don't know if that got any
You know, we can go so many different stereotypical
Yeah.
places. I mean,
I'm just
if it had to be
saying,
the
on
black
black-
neighborhood,
yeah,
it had to be
yeah,
Popeyes, come on now.
Yeah. So
That's stupid.
so anyway, like I say, I didn't pick the restaurant, I didn't pick
That's
the location, I didn't pick the part of town, and I didn't
I like
think
it.
we
That's
needed
good.
to be so anal that it had to be in the black part of town. I didn't think that, and evidently no one else thought that. So again, we will be there, and people ask me what's the deal. We're gonna have a meeting. We're gonna meet. We're gonna greet. We're gonna talk, and we're gonna eat. That's the agenda. You know, the whole idea is for us to get together and celebrate who we are.
That'd be awesome. Fill that place out.
That's what I want to do.
That'd be awesome.
You know, so we'll figure out. And I know this show next week, because the show comes on right before we go do this thing. You know, how many folks. So if we got 30 or 40 folks, if we got 3, however many we got that sign up, let us know that they're coming for sure. We will tell you. Again, you know, now we got, I found out this morning that we got people who want to come and see who we are. I am telling you guys, it is what it sounds like it's going to be. Don't show up, liberal white folks, think you're going to protest us, because this is not the folks you protest. You used to protesting the civilized people. You show up at this one. And I'm not, this is not a threat, but ass whooping will be handed out if there are needed to be. So I'm just saying, like condiments, you know, like straws and napkins and spoons and forks.
Paper straws.
Paper straws.
That's right, yeah.
Don't show up, because I'm telling you, you know, everybody's just showing up at this event coming because they understand what we're trying to do, what it's about, and they don't want to be on the 6 o'clock news. So if you're not interested in coming and got positive things on your mind, you know, don't come. It ain't the TV thing that you're used to seeing. Okay? Because the fact that it's gonna be mostly black males tell you something different also.
Or brown.
Yeah. And there is no reason for it to be a group of angry black males.
It doesn't have to be anti-white, and I think that's the stupid part people start thinking.
Unless you show up.
Just because you get a bunch of minorities together, it's got to be anti-white. That's stupidity.
No. We support. I'm gonna tell you something. I talked about this a couple of months ago at the Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee. Got overwhelmingly majority support for the event, and they wanted us to put it on their webpage, so we would put that on their webpage too, and let folks know about it. Which takes me back to something that I did not get done. I did not talk about our sponsors. So we're going to talk about our sponsors, and then we're going to start the show.
It's a warm-up.
So we're going to start the show. And again, and this is something I don't understand, because black folks will get mad because we say we want to show up and show that we support Trump. Now there's a hatred going on.
Mm-hmm.
They hate Trump. I don't know why, but I consider hatred to be a negative emotion. And so for you to waste your time, energy, and effort hating somebody that you don't know, who actually don't know you actually hate them, I'm just saying. You know, because hate is one of them things, somebody got to know you hate them in order for it to do you any good in your
So
life.
hate runs deep?
Yeah.
So then if you and I are
Right.
angry at one another, and
Yeah.
I said I'm going to drink a cup of poison,
Yeah.
you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
It don't
real
work that way,
upset.
does it?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real upset.
Why are
with
they
that.
giving this man rent free in their minds 24/7?
He's
I don't
living
understand
in
that.
condos.
People are supposed to be smart.
Penthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee. Jim, thank you for the support you and your organization have gave us in this endeavor. And we will be doing other events to show our appreciation and for the opportunity that we have had to do this great experiment called Porch Talk Radio.
Thank you, Jim.
Todd Jones, thank you. John Desbrow, thank you. All your printing needs. If you need to buy a car, John got a couple cars out there. Print fast, 813 621 9444. All right, 813 621 9444. 4. All right. So, the show today, the Democrats, the party that gave you scandal after scandal after scandals. I mean, we got Nixon, but that wasn't a scandal.
18 minutes?
Yeah, nobody was having sex with Nixon. You know, and I'm just gonna throw it out there, you know. And then we have the bimbo eruption. But, and again, they got a playbook, and since they was used to dealing with people like Herman Cain and Justice Thomas
And Bork.
And some of this other stuff. Somehow it's okay to accuse people. And again, I'm not gonna bite my tongue. I'm sorry. Somebody forget something for 36 damn years and then show up and everybody put the bend over backward believe. I'm just sorry. That's ludicrous. I just thought everybody flipping lost it. Everybody just went crazy one day. Oh, he touched me 36 years ago. I don't remember everything, but I just remember he touched me.
You know, they've been, before you get started down 18 rabbit paths, they have been setting, you know, the left has been setting this up for about 2 or 3 years. The whole #MeToo movement has been preparing people for, Hillary Clinton said, we should just believe her, no matter what. And you saw what happened to dirtbags like Harry Weinstein and some others, Louis C.K. and some other people in entertainment and Bill Cosby as well, where people are bringing back memories of things that happened 2, 3, almost 4 decades ago, and we've been softened up. So it was perfect timing for Diane Frankenstein, Feinstein, whatever, to bring this tactic up. You know, there are a lot of problems here. This is so political. This is just trying to get. They want to delay. I'll tell you what the whole thing is. They're trying to delay the confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh until mid-October. Mid-October is when early voting starts in a lot of places. And if they can manage to give Trump a loss here, because if Kavanaugh decides, you know what, screw all y'all, I got a good life. I don't need any of you people. I don't need any of this crap. And bails, or the pressure on Senate Republicans, who if Senator Grassley has one single hair left on his old wrinkled nutsack.
You said nutsack.
Oh my goodness.
That's
below the belt.
I wonder actually if he does. If they let this go on, it'll be a loss for Trump and everybody else who Trump has endorsed. And this is all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the whole game. This is the whole game. I think we're getting caught up in the minutia. I think we're majoring in the minors. The case, quote, end quote, is unimportant because everybody can see that no thinking person goes, oh yeah, we were in high school and this guy tried to fill me up. I don't really know when it was or where it was or when I was 50, I think. No thinking person. And I don't care if you hate Trump so viscerally that every time somebody says Trump, you throw up. If you are an adult, you know dang on well that bringing something up after almost 40 years and you don't know the details, you know that that's not relevant. I mean, I want to see that blue dress. Well, you know,
look out.
At least there's DNA. At least there's DNA evidence there. But and that in itself is disgusting. But so anybody who thinks for a second, or who will say for a second, that this is not political, purely political, then you are. I mean, I don't mean to be unkind.
Come on.
Either you are insane, or you're just lying. And you're okay with lying to people. Okay, now let's go back a step. I didn't want this to be public. I didn't want nobody to know about it. but then keep it to your damn self.
Well,
I mean, if you really didn't want nobody.
But I wrote a letter to Dianne Feinstein that she's had since July.
And I've already had a polygraph done, and I've already got the Democratic strategist that helped out in the Paula Jones mess to fight that on board with me. But this wasn't meant to happen.
This is all politics.
We didn't want this to go public.
And unfortunately, and sadly, this is the condition of our republic at this point. This is where we are. We are living on Bravo. We're living on the Bravo network. And because these are the things that get people excited. Normally, Supreme Court confirmations are boring and nobody gives a crap about them. It doesn't happen. The Democrats they don't have any issues because, like you said before, too many people are doing too well, so there are no big issues, so they've got to create one. So Kavanaugh was a great way to do it. Unfortunately, Gorsuch happened so quickly, they couldn't get the wagon circled.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, guys, let's keep track of reality in that.
What the hell do you think they're doing?
There's this word called hypocrisy.
Oh, that's
now, for that to be thrown on both sides, I got that. But who's the second guy right now that's running the Democratic Party, second in command?
Keith Ellison.
They've got pictures of he beat the hell out of his girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
They got a police report. They've got medical records, and she is now saying that the Democratic Party is smearing her and telling her to go away. They're trying to even
the
death
football
threats.
player that knocked out his girlfriend in the elevator?
I forget, but he's
still out there.
He played for the Ravens.
The National Felony League.
The NFL. I'm talking about the guy who told his wife.
Ray
Rice.
Told his wife, this girlfriend, to shut up. They went on the elevator.
Well,
and then when she came off the elevator, he was dragging her by her hair or something.
Well, that was Ray Rice, and Ray Rice got suspended. Ray Rice paid a big fine. He was out of the league for a year or so, and he came back.
But I'm just saying. Okay, so it is okay for one party to
beat the hell out of their women,
as abusive as they want to be,
and that doesn't count. And
the Republicans are obligated. I heard some senator said, you guys just should do the right thing. I'm kind of trying to figure out how somebody not saying something happened for 36 years. Hell, see that bring me to the Vatican and the church and all that kind of other stuff.
They're in trouble.
Because I just heard something in the news that they got something in South America, they got something in Germany, they got something here in Pennsylvania. So again, for I have not heard that keeping something a secret, and then in 40 years, some opportunity presents itself, other than the fact that you just feel bad and your genitals start reacting 40-something years later to something that happened when you was a teenager. That's a delayed response. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, yes, I am saying it. I'm saying that for you to wait 40 years and say something happened that was inappropriate 40 years ago, and this just happened to be the opportune moment where you can slay somebody's character or put somebody, future, in question. Again, that to me, that's as low as it gets. And I was trying to say a couple weeks ago that politics is a blood sport. It's a blood sport.
It's a blood sport, and the person that has come out to do all these allegations, we know already that she was one of the bragging people. She loved to drink. She was an alcoholic, actually, back in that time frame, they said.
Yeah, she wanted to come
She had 64 sex partners from age 11 into college, and she was happy about that. She was bragging about that. So, and I'm not saying that she's a hoe. I'm not saying
somebody broke them up.
I'm not saying she's a slut, but she's been on more wieners than Heinz ketchup. So I'm just saying, this was the least care. And of course, she's been anti-Trump the whole time, which is not an issue. But now she's been part of the party, part of an activist and all that. And that's fine, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
But the fact that now also Brent Kavanaugh's best friend, have you seen pictures of him? He's like a twin. He's like a twin back during that time. She don't remember squat.
I don't even go with that okay, it was she mistaken the identity. I'm just saying it's just a bunch of who. It's a bunch of hoo-hum. Because again, at the end of the day, for somebody who didn't want this to go public, sure basking in the light, the glow of being a
15
victim,
minutes of fame.
being 15. A victim. Again, this is some victimhood that she didn't have to jump on. It kind of jumped on her. And again, it only is got folks talking about it all over the country and calling her name and calling her a hoe. Now, some 30-something years later, it is her fault. And again, I know a lot of people, you can't do it because she this and she that. No, this is stupid.
Hillary said we should just believe her. Gee, did Hillary try that when her husband, accusers came forward? She destroyed them.
Yeah. So anyway, we wanted to have that conversation about Brett, just to end it up with this point. The point is, it don't matter when they vote. It really don't matter when they vote. The Democrats don't have enough votes to stop it.
They didn't win an election. And
this was a horse and pony show that neither the horse nor the pony wanted to be in. At least that's what she said.
Even though she had the polygraph and the Democratic strategist already on board.
Don't matter. It's not a court.
No, it's not.
The statute of limitations has passed. They actually did the hearing. Again, they had a hearing. There was a hearing in which they asked this man a whole week, a bunch of questions.
Feinstein had him for a few hours.
About who he was and why he was. And if the Democrats had enough votes, they would have voted.
Yep.
But because they don't have enough votes,
which is why they're trying to delay this.
They're playing the game.
Yeah. Well, you know what? So this is why when some people bring up the particulars of this, I always say the particulars don't matter because this is all a political game to try their best to give Trump a loss and those people who are connected to Trump a loss in the midterm elections. And as soon as, again, if I'm going to say this one more time, and this is not breakfast talk, if Grassley has one wrinkled hair, white hair left on his nutsack, what he'll do Monday is he'll call the question. They'll meet, and for those of you who understand Robert's Rules of Order, he'll call the question, which means that'll be the end of debate, that'll be the end of discussion, and there'll be a vote. Period. And be done.
It'll be over with.
And before the sun goes down, he'll have his gavel, he'll have his robe, and we'll be done. And they'll just be mad.
Yeah.
And this woman will sink back into her mediocrity of being a college professor. On Rate My Professor, she scored a dazzling 2.4 before her name got scrubbed from that website.
Yeah.
Why
does that happen?
Think about
because
this.
Students had written negative things about it.
Think
before.
Think about this.
Terrible person.
Long Dong Silver.
Oh, come on.
That's a part of history, and Anita Hill, and again, sometimes they find these people, and they become parts of history for the most obscure, benign reasons. And just think about it. Every confirmation of a Republican Supreme Court justice for the rest of history, this woman name will come up.
Mm-hmm.
And a picture will come up. And folks 100 years from now will be reading about her in their history books. I'm just thinking that's not something I would want on my worst enemy. You see what I'm saying? Because once you get attached to stuff like this, it never goes away. And ink lasts a long time.
The sooner they vote and get this person confirmed, or not confirmed, the better things will be.
So he's gonna get voted in.
Oh yeah, done.
This whole argument is not about that fact. This whole argument is about when. And I think it should not pass this next week. So we'll know who the black Trump supporters are in this area. But long long after we know who the next Supreme Court justice is going to be. Now, that's going to happen sometime during the week. We won't know till next weekend who the black Trump supporters are in this area. At least the ones that's willing to show up and take photos and maybe become the part of another trend. Who knows?
Hashtag walk away.
Hashtag walk away. Hashtag here we are Trump.
Well, shut it up.
There you go.
There we go.
Mr. Tim could set that up.
That's it. Now I'm gonna have a conversation with you people. For those who didn't stay up, UCF beat Florida International last night.
Not surprising.
It was a good game. You know, they scored 59 points, I think it was, UCF. At some point, they will play USF again, and they may go undefeated.
They'll play USF at the end of the season.
All the way up to that point in time, because they have now won 16 games in a row. Again, local state school. Just thought I would throw that out there. And this is something else. And then this is gonna really make some people mad at me, but I just had to mention it. I was on my way somewhere the other day, and I pulled up in the stops to a red light in Temple Terrace on the Bullard Parkway. And I'm at the stoplight, and this car with two black females in it pulls up in the parking lot right next to Florida College.
Was it dancing Kiki?
And one jumped out, took a pocketbook, took off her shoes, and put them in the trunk of the car.
Yeah.
Came back, got in the front seat of the car, and I thought I was watching, Sleeping Dragon, Hidden Dance something, because this chick in the car reached up with her feet and kicked this woman in the face in the car.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? They were fighting. So they were fighting in the car. Evidently, they knew each other because they drove up there together.
Those must have been her non-fighting shoes.
And one of them went and took her stuff, put it in the trunk, and they started fighting. And the light changed, and I had to pull off. But I'm like, what did I just see? And evidently, they know each other. So I don't know if it was mother and daughter, or girlfriend and girlfriend, or what. I mean, this girl kicked this other girl in the face, and then he knocked the hell out of her, and they went to fighting right there at the red light. So, but they was on the side of the road. I'm just saying, they were parked, and they meant to do this. I guess one of them had earned the ass whooping, and one couldn't wait to give it to her, so they're right there on the side of the road. This whole thing. So I'm like, some freaky things has happened, but I have never seen anything like this. Two black chicks. So again,
it is part of our culture that we live in. Where there isn't any place, there isn't any time and place considerations for anything, basically. So I feel like kicking you in the face.
They needed to fight.
So you get kicked in the face. And if I happen to be in this parking lot, because it's an abandoned Burger King, this is where I will kick you in the face.
But I'm saying, I'm like it was planned. So they pulled up in this Florida College, the little school parking lot. Parked. Took off her shoes and took a pocketbook, put it in the trunk, closed the trunk, came back, sat down, and literally started fighting in the front seat of the car. And I know a lot of people are not concerned. I'm just saying it was just something that I saw that was just astounding. And of course people behind me blew the horn and say drive, because they didn't see the folks fighting. But they missed that excitement. It's so many people doing well today. You know what I mean? I was having a conversation, with someone about the guys standing on the side of the road. Those guys have become professional people who stand on the side of the road and earn money every day. They do it like a job. 8 hours a day.
Statistics are good on 45 to 60,000 because there's no tax being paid in that money. That's what the statistics are.
I'm just saying, I see the same guy at the same corner every day.
Oh, yeah.
He might as well have a clock that punch, and now it's got so good. It's 4 corners. It's got 4 people. The one guy has been there the entire time, so I guess he's established dominance, and that's his corner. You know, he drive his bicycle up there every day, lay it on the side of the road. You know, and so folks trying to get on the interstate, you know, go right by him, and he's got his sign, and he's got, I mean, and one day he had like on some cargo pants, and the guy had only had a 10. The guy said, I got change. So he giving the guy change for $10, so he could give him 5, you know, right there on the side of the street corner.
The panhandlers are giving change.
I was just saying, I think we can come a long way. That means a lot of money out there. It's a lot of folks driving around with a lot of money. And again, you see, if you come by that corner, if you go to work every day, you see this guy on the corner certain times a day, all day, every day. And he go, I don't know where he lived, but he must have lived within bicycle riding distance, because he ride his bicycle there. And then at lunch, he takes lunch, because you see him go to Burger King and get him a sandwich and sit over there under the bridge and eat his sandwich. And then soon as I guess it's 30 minutes or an hour, however long he takes for lunch, he get back up and go back to begging for money. So I am just saying, this is a great country we live in. I'm serious. That's a regular job. This guy's making money.
No taxes being paid.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably one of the biggest things that people do get upset about is that, you know, here in Florida in the summertime, if you can be out on an intersection under no shade for 7 and 8 hours at a time.
Oh yeah.
That makes you and day after day, that makes you a pretty strong individual. Weak people can't do that.
No, yeah, really.
Weak people can't do that. Jeez. I mean, you kidding me? If you're weak and sick, you can't do that. So, of course, the mentality is, well, if you can do that, if you've got that sort of strength and that sort of stick-to-itness, then let's see if we can get you hooked up with a regular gig.
Yeah, something where you show up and create opportunities for others.
You've already shown that you can show up on time.
You've
got that stick-to-itness. You've already shown that. Let's see if we can get you hooked up with something that's not begging.
Yes.
It blows my mind. And you're right. You see the same people at the same intersections day after day. Sometimes they take the weekend off.
Yeah. So, sometimes they take the weekend off, right? Like regular people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So you know what? And it just becomes a thing. I think there may be bunches of reasons why you see that. There may be people who have addictions and people who have problems with felony records. I mean, there may be all sorts of backstories. People who have some mental instability or instability and stuff. So
they go to their little place on the corner.
They do. But I think that's an environment they can control for the most part. So there may be all sorts of reasons why people end up there. But it just seems like, dang, if you could do that every day,
yes,
we could work something out.
Yeah, yes.
Well, and mental illness is pretty high, supposedly, with those peeps, so I don't...
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people...
There's other stuff going on in the background, but they've done several survey statistics for many years that come out and say, well, actually, they're doing... Majority of them are making some really good money. They don't keep track of any of it, but they showed...
They give change.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, what a life.
Wait a minute. A big roll of money. Yeah, there you go.
Choke a horse with it.
Yeah.
You want $3 back? Here you go, $3 back.
Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy. Your boy gave change back, huh?
Yeah, he gave change on the side of the road. I'm like, okay, man, we come a long way. Now something else similar, but something we talked about at the beginning of the year. There was this guy who helped this lady, and they started a GoFundMe thing, and we was keeping up with it there for a couple of weeks, for about a month or so. And this guy, they raised over $400,000 for this homeless guy because he helped this lady on the side of the road. Come to find out, they started this GoFundMe account for this guy, and the police had to show up at their house to start taking stuff that they done bought for themselves with this homeless guy money.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they done bought a car and bought a truck. Now they're supposed to be helping this guy and doing all this other stuff. Oh, he's a bad character. He's a drug addict. He's a this. Okay, but it was supposed to be his money.
Oh man.
These people not related.
People, aren't they?
Didn't know this guy.
Dumb.
Yes, right.
Dumb.
Dumb. Kindness and goodness of their heart. I'm gonna tell you what happened. $400,000 happened. It turned these kind folks trying to look out for this guy's best interest into criminals. because the sheriff showed up and arrested the man. The woman saw the sheriff come and drove off. They got video. They have a TV camera crew showed up to these people's house. They went to court. The judge said, give the man his money. Oh, we don't spent it. Okay, we spent it all except for $150,000. Well, give him the $150,000 back. Oh, we don't have it. It's somewhere.
You see what happened?
It's somewhere where we can't get access to it. So the judge said, okay, he sent the sheriff over there, go find this man money. So the sheriff went by and started picking up stuff that was new at these folks' house. And of course, they saying, oh, well, we just thought we would handle it for him, even though the court and a judge done told these people it's not your money. It was not your money to start with. It was his money.
They wanted to oversee.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's funny how kind and how good and folks just take advantage of people because again his effort was the same kind. This guy standing on the corner begging for money. This lady came and she needed help and he helped her and all's well. That ends well. Well, as they say, no good deed goes unpunished.
Well, guys, as we chase a few rabbits here, I don't know, in the midst of all this hoopla from the news media off in one direction, President Trump this past couple of weeks appoints a Native American to run the American Bureau of Affairs for the first time in American history. The media is silent about it. What a hell of an idea.
Yeah.
What a hell, an actual person that's one of the people that's supposed to be helping the people.
You mean?
Oh my goodness!
So he's a native.
He's an actual
Indian, and he's going to actually be in charge of
the Bureau of Indian, first time in American history.
But that was like somebody black being in charge of HUD.
Oh, like Ben Carson.
I mean,
it's illogical. This just makes too much sense. And people are just dumbfounded by that. Also, a shout out to Mr. Pete Flores, the Texas Republican who beat a Democrat. First time this district has been held for 139 years.
I saw that.
It's 73% African American and Hispanic is the population in that particular district. He won it, and he won it big. People are coming off plantation. They're tired of it.
I think that, and we talk about this all the time. Mm-hmm. I think you can like Trump, or you can rent him space in your brain.
Yeah.
Or you can give him
free.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
But he's a disruptor. Now, whether you like him or not, whether you love him and think he's Christ or you think he's Beelzebub, he has been a disruptor in the process. And that is causing people to think a lot more about where they live locally and how things are going for them. And, they're sitting around the kitchen table and saying, this is where we are now, because kitchen table politics are always the most important politics, especially in the African American community,
yes.
and especially in a lot of the Hispanic community and people who are quote middle class or lower middle class. Is kitchen table politics.
Whoa, yeah.
They don't give a crap about a lot of the other stuff people talk about, Republican or Democrat. They care about, can I feed the people sitting at this table?
That's right.
Can I keep the lights on in this 2-bedroom apartment that I got 8 people living in? Mm-hmm. Can I live here? And can we live here with some level of security and comfort? And that's all they care about.
Right.
And I think both parties miss it when they miss that.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
All right, now we're gonna do a couple of things we normally do. So let's talk about birthday.
Birthday.
Okay. Birthday party, October the 13th.
Young from Cheap Seats.
Yeah, the Cheap Seats. Birthday party, October the 13th. Eddie Adams will be 65 years old. You know how I know that? It's because the federal government, ever since January the 1st,
reminding you of your own birthday?
Yeah, January the 1st, 2018, I got a letter on New Year's Day talking about you're going to be 65 this year. So they wasted no time telling me how I'm going to be 65 this year in case I had forgot or my math was off or something, So on October the 13th, I will be 65. That means even though I may not currently have...
And not a wrinkle on you. How about that?
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Kind of fluffy, but that's all right.
We're going to have a party. And everybody within earshot is invited. if you got something special you want, go to my Facebook page, or go to Porch Talk Radio, and tell me, because I'm working up the menu as we speak. I'm trying to get some horses, trying to get
not on the menu.
Not on the menu.
This too shall pass. This too shall pass.
Punctuation matters.
You ran this together 2 minutes ago.
I run on and it scared me.
Oh.
we would not be eating horses.
Oh my God, man!
I'm quite sure no one out there was listing horses as part of the menu.
I don't know, man. You better get that run on.
But in case you were,
we're the menu, and we're getting horses.
That's the other. That's
right.
That's the other Adams family. Adam have horse chops or something, But anyway, Wednesday and Pubsley and all those folks. But anyway, that being said, address, birthday party, Eddie Adams Jr., 234 Bullard Parkway. That's on October 13th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Free. I am aging, but if you want to bring me some stuff and give it to me, see, I'm not that other person. See, bring it, give me stuff.
So if you're a president, bring them.
Cash is good.
Cash only.
We take cash. I don't drink alcohol. Every year,
there's a CVS store like round the corner, so you can pick something up and then bring it down the street.
Somebody brings me wine every year. Somebody brings me wine. My wife drinks. My daughter drinks. So we would
not because of you.
We would give them.
Okay.
We would give them the wine if you bring it. So, but if you want to just bring a gift or something, or give me some cash. Or
Rolex.
Yeah, Rolex. Yeah. I need a Rolex too. My son was asking me about that the other day. Hey, Dad, when we gonna get a Rolex? I said, I got a birthday coming up. I have a good, important friend who's a billionaire who sends Rolex and watches in the mail. So
I can find you doing a Rolex.
Again, I'm just talking.
It's like that.
All right.
Kind of. It's kind of green sometimes in your wrist.
Candidates. And I did not talk about candidates last week.
I think we beat them up pretty good.
Did not do on this day in history last week because we didn't have our piece of paper in front of us with all information on it. So, folks, I know we still got the election ahead of us, and if you want to know who I'm voting for, see, that's who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The people on my ballot that I am voting for. And again, I know some folks going to be mad, but the trend right now is folks are voting against the amendments. And I know everybody wants us to vote for Amendment 4. So if I was going to vote for one of the amendments...
We talked about this in the meeting.
Yes, it would be Amendment 4. And Temple Terrace got 3 of their own amendments. So we got 13 amendments with all the folks in the county and
so there's no
and
legislative process anymore.
So there's 3 amendments.
Random.
I mean, Temple Terrace had 5. Temple Terrace had 5 of their own, and they cut it down to 3.
Where can I go read that? People don't know where to find that information. The
Well,
election board, I guess.
Well, the
Was the election board?
supervisor of election.
Votosborough.org.
Yeah,
Okay.
supervisor of
Find
election
email
is going to send you a sample ballot, and it's going to have all that stuff on there
Okay,
too.
because most people don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
They just
All right.
do whatever.
So these are my candidates. People, Eddie Adams Jr., folks at Talk Radio got as their candidates, and on November the 6th, when they have the next big election, I am voting for Rick Scott for Senate.
Absolutely.
Chad Chronister for Sheriff. Ross Spano for Congress, District 15. Ashley Moody for Attorney General. Melissa Spivey for School Board, District 4. Jared Smith for County Court Judge, Group 5. Mike Islick for County Court Judge, Group 8. Dana Young. And don't believe those damn commercials about Dana Young leaving or cutting, $1.6 billion out the education budget. The education budget didn't get cut by anybody this year. It's just a lie. So that's my 2 cents for Dana. But Dana Young for State Senate District 18.
Very good person.
Tom Lee, State Senate, District 20. Jamie Grant, State House, 64. Todd Marks, County Commissioner,
Good guy.
District 7. And for March, there's another election in March. David A. Straz Jr., Mayor, City of Tampa. Walter Smith II, City Council, District 1. That's not the Black not Black the City Council seat. Not the Black City Council seat. And that's Walter Smith II.
Well, I want Walter. I want him to do well, because the idea is coming very soon. There won't be a black seat soon.
Oh no, that district is going white.
Oh boy.
And it's going young too.
Yeah, it's going young.
It's going young, white, and affluent. So there won't be a black. There won't be a black seat soon. So it's important that that Walter ends up being the sort of the tip of the spear.
The last one.
To get into a district that wasn't a set aside.
Right.
So I hope he does well.
Well, if Walter wins this seat, when the black seat goes white, then we'll still have somebody.
Well, but I'm hoping that
we have two.
Well, that he sort of breaks this mantra that the only seat that a black person can get elected to is, quote, the black seat. The idea is that we have to have that citywide and then countywide appeal to be able to run for whatever seats open, that if you're a grown person, you run for because you want to. Mm-hmm. Whether that's a countywide seat or a district seat, but not just the set-aside district.
Well, again, they did that when black folks couldn't
get
elected to anything.
There may have been a reason for it, yeah. And I understand that. I understand the whole pre-clearance district thing, mm-hmm. But it's probably time, if we are going to keep saying, this is 2018, things should be different. Well, things should be different, and the only way for them to be different is to make them different.
All right.
Too simple.
On this day, September the 22nd.
I didn't miss this last one.
1862.
I know.
Oh,
1862. U.S. President Lincoln issued the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation. I bet you never heard of the preliminary.
Was that the same year that he nominated Ruth Bader Ginsburg for the Supreme Court?
Pretty much.
Yeah. No, I think the year after. So,
and then he groped her.
So yeah, really. So it's stated that slaves shall withhold. It's stated that slaves held within rebel states would be free as of January the 1st, 1863. So they warned them folks that they were going to have to let them slaves free, and it took them 2 years after the first for them to free them all. Boy, that literally means, instead of 2.5 years, it took 3 years, because they came out in September before January to say we're gonna let them free, some slave free in January now. We telling y'all that now, so you can be ready. But they wasn't ready, because it still took them 2 years to get it done. Yeah. All right. On this day, September the 22nd, 1949, the Soviet Union exploded its first atomic bomb successfully. That began the nuclear age. Because, we had a bomb, but once they got one, that means,
Well, we had used ours by then.
Yeah, we was already.
At least twice.
Yeah, we was already out there killing.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, we was out there killing folks. Matter of fact, we the only one that ever dropped a nuclear bomb.
That have used it,
in time of war.
In war, so.
In time of war, yeah.
So I always look at people who are hawks and go, we're the only one who's ever done that. Let's not be hypocritical about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We don't want nobody else to do it, because we did it. All right. On this day, 1961, U.S. President John F. Kennedy signed a congressional act that established the Peace Corps. And I was in first grade. That came in our weekly reader. Mm-hmm. The Peace Corps being established, and that was a big deal in 1961. and me and all my fellow first graders.
You were all set to be in the Peace Corps, weren't you?
Yeah, we was good to go. All right.
You were 8 years old.
Yeah, well, that's what our teacher said. All y'all need to go to Peace Corps. And it wasn't just because we was all black, because
No, that's not what we're thinking.
We had integrated back then.
Well, and it was sort of the mentality and the feel back then.
Yeah. All right. And last but not least, on this day, September 22nd, 1965, the Supremes made the studio recording of I Hear a Symphony.
And there's not been a better girl group since then.
Best girl group ever.
Ever.
All right, so I did something unusual yesterday. I went to one of those buy multifamily property thing.
Okay.
Because I got a couple of emails, and then I had a couple people call me and tell me about it, and I wanted to buy some multifamily units like apartment complexes. Condo units, something like that. I wanted to do it, just didn't have enough information. So I went to this thing yesterday and found that they got a company that's named RE Mentors. And they're out of Boston. And they do these things all over the country. So all week last week, all over the Tampa Bay area, because I did it in Pasco, Pinellas, Lakeland, here in Tampa, a couple of different nights, and I went to this thing. Tell you what happened. I went there. It was about 50 people in the room. 25. It was 25 black folks in that room. Trying to figure out how to buy multifamily residential
That's good.
units.
Trying to better themselves. I like it.
Again, I just say, because we've been doing job fairs all year. We've been trying to do different events. Could not get, the number of black folks and young black folks to show up to these things. That's why they looking to buy some multifamily, residential units. So good. I was good. I was glad. I was impressed. It cost $1,500 to get the training, which I didn't have. But in the future, next $1,500 I get, I may pay for the 3-day camp training thing to go do it.
We're gonna need to do one of those GoFundMe pages.
Well, yeah.
Willie and I can oversee that, and we'll give you a percentage after we get some new cars.
Yeah, multifamily. So and if you buy a 100-unit apartment building or complex, they will give you a bonus. Yeah, so they got the multi-unit, 100-unit.
I'll talk to you later.
Apartment complex.
There's actually some folks here local that I know.
Oh.
A dude named Brian Chavis. And you guys can Google Brian Chavis, buy it, rent it, profit, if you want to. And Joe the Cash Man, I forget his last name. But Joe, they actually are doing that and helping people do that locally.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about people out of Boston. You have people who have an office
Say
right
$1,500.
downtown. Well, I don't know if you're going to save any money, but these people are really good at that. Brian Chavis has written a book called Buy It, Rent It, Profit, about buying and maintaining multifamily housing. And again, I think that in October, they're having their big meeting in October 21st, I believe it is. So, and I'll bring you more. I'll bring everybody more information about that next week when I see you, because that's really the way to go.
It is.
It really, it's really the way to go. Even if you've got people who are out there now who have rental property, you've got like you in New Jersey, good God.
Yeah.
So if you've got like a house, and frankly, if you don't have anybody renting that house, you've got 100% non-vacancy.
Yeah.
But if you got a duplex, and you got one person who isn't there, you still have 50%. You still have 50% occupancy. Right. So, and then of course you can scale that.
Yes, that's what they said.
And you can scale that. So I'll bring that information to you, and I'll bring it to our listeners next week about the local meeting with the local folks, Brian Chavis and Joe the Cashman Eastman. So that'll be cool.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So
we're done.
good show. Nobody hair is on fire, and for the most part, we're gonna have black folks showing up next week for the Black Trump supporter meeting thing.
Awesome.
And we'll
rally.
talk.
Call it a rally?
Yes, a rally, and
Oh,
we'll talk. We'll talk about. Well, we don't want to call it a rally because we want the press showing up and calling and making fun of us or anything like that.
Well,
so.
the press
Pick
shows
on
up.
us.
Well, when the press shows up, that's the key for other people to come and get that press coverage
There you go.
for what they want.
Right, there you go. So anyway, next week, same bat time, same
do
bat
this.
station.
God bless
all the
America.
folks from Tampa Bay, we'll see you, at the Trump Here We Are rally. Have a great week.
Good
See
night
you.
now.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye.